Let's get going here. Let's see what we've got on our watch list for this upcoming week. Last week is September. Before I do so, come over to ZTRADEZ.net. Check out the terms and conditions page. If you don't agree to the terms and conditions in the disclaimer, don't watch the video. Have nothing to do with the community and the newsletter that's in the description below. There is some hot stuff, real hot stuff that I'm watching, and I'm going to get into that. We can start off with IXHL. Some of these are tongue twisters. Obviously I'm not going to chase a move like this, right? I don't have the other EMAs up here because it's pointless to have them up here. We just want this as clean as possible. 1, 2, 3 reversal candle right here off the 20 EMA and a volume shelf. I like it. Currently at 59 to 60 cents. Looking hot to me. What am I supposed to do? Swing SPY long term? How much would it cost for me to buy a call on SPY for, let's say 2027? It'd be the price of a used BMW or Mercedes or something like that. It's ridiculous. It's nuts. It's nuts. And the theta, whoever's writing those options, it's like they're making a living off your theta decay. Right? You're on the wrong side if you're on the buy. The only way you'd be able to do that is a debit spread at this point, wide debit, which there's nothing wrong with that. And if it's going to be SPY, it's going to be QQQ, it's going to be some of these expensive stocks. Keep in mind, when I started trading SPY, it was like 248. Then they've got to be debit spreads. Swinging SPY back then was easy. You're getting in the 280s, 290s for 6 months out. Nothing. Let's keep moving. Now, it's not happening now. Snap, double hammer. I don't like that this body is a little bit lower and on the outside of that body. That is dangerous. Let's adjust this properly. I don't know the proper color scheme that I need to pick here. I called this right here. I called that right there. No, it was actually in the 6s. I had called it down here. Maybe it was one of these. I didn't have the bottom. The bottom's pointless. We just need the top. You guys can go to my TikTok and see my previous video, as well as my newsletter, as well as the weekly watch list. I called the gap to the low 9s right here. 922, and we filled it, and we came back. And now we're resting on a volume shelf above the 20 EMA, double hammering, resting on it. This is what I would be worried about. I doubt that. But if so, then I'm just going to obtain more equity, as well as C's. For January, they're like 40 cents for the 12s. That's nothing. I'll own it all day. It's reminding me of AEO. Not that we're going to have a move like that. Let's just chart AEO real quick, where I got assigned. Look at that hammer on the 20 right there when it was at 10. This was after we knew what's-her-face was doing the commercials. But I had been in this way, way down here. Let me go ahead and take a look at this. The gap was filled as well. Look at that 20 EMA bounce with basically almost a hammer right on it. Interesting. I don't know where I was. Moving on. IXHL snap. I could end the whole watch list right here. I could just end it right now. After this. This looks hot. I have been calling this over and over. It's been on like all my watch lists since July. I called out when this thing came in through a SPAC. It reminded me of DJT. When DJT came out through a SPAC and it had one giant day. It had the day of, right? Then the following day, it just went Looney Tunes and then peeled off. Same thing happened with DJT. Then there was warrants. It was known that there was going to be warrants that were going to be executed. So why would people hold? That's kind of dumb, especially at the 10 strike. So there's going to be, I'm good, right? I'm good on that. Let's turn the linear chart on so we can see this a bit better. Over in here, the warrants, if they didn't execute them by the end of the day, they were going to be worth a cent. So we knew that was going to end, and it started to price it in before. We were in C's. We did very well. The stock itself ran around 50%. Been in ever since. This is my price target. My first one. My second one would be around 21, 22, up in here where these bodies are. Right up in there. Right about there. 2260. That's my second PT. I don't see that happening, but I definitely see this happening. Look at that. Look at that upwards pressure. This tried to pull back and buyers shoved it up so aggressively that it created that wick. Beautiful, beautiful. And if it decides to come down, you know, the options on this are dirt cheap. So what if I'm wrong and it wants to hang out here for another week or two? I've got them for May. I have some for January, very light, but I'm in for May, and I'm selling CSPs on this, and I own equity. So I am very bull on bull. So we'll see what happens with this. SPY. Let's take a look at SPY. So we had RSI divergence at one point. Now RSI, as you can see over here, is pretty much bouncing. Anyways, sorry, I don't want to get caught up in the charts. 20 EMA bounce, called this. Should have been in C's on that. We did have a volume gap, which was worrying me, but we've been so bull. Anytime we're around the 20, like there and here, we started to accelerate, and I see definitely probably 640, 664 next week at the least, because we have rate cuts coming. So that we just have catalysts, and right as the next rate cuts come, there's another catalyst for more rate cuts. And after those rate cuts, there's a catalyst for Mr. Too Late getting out. The one bear in the background, lurking in the background, is the geopolitical front. I mean, everything's collapsing right now. Everything is collapsing. It's not good. It's not good. Some of the stuff was started in the previous administration that we're still having to deal with, which is why rates had to stay up so high. And then we have tariffs, which are affecting inflation a little bit. Orange Man is taking inflation down in other sectors. He's doing a good job at that. But then it's like both administrations were doing things that were counterintuitive to getting inflation down, right? So not happy about that. I mean, but the tariffs, what do? You just let every countries just do whatever you want. That's what it is. It's like you can't do that either. The consequences of that aren't good. What do you do? That's a whole nother topic in conversation. I don't know what the answer is on that. I'd have to see other people's side, not just one side. I need to see other people's sides, see what they have to say. Some economists on both sides. But yeah, I don't know. Inflation is going back up. CPI is coming in hot, and I think they're just going to keep cutting into it. We'll see what happens with that. They need to get shelter down, and they need to get food down like now. Energy's there. Regular under $3 a gallon now. Diesel's lower. Transportation costs drop, which means everything that's transported drops. Let's keep moving. AMD. What chart is this on? A daily? Let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly, not looking bad. See us right on the volume shelf right here. Right above the 20, not bad. A little gap right there into the volume, 174. Keeping my eyes on that. NVDA with the recent good news, and then it gave it all up. Weekly, it's just basically the same. We had that good news, came up, came down even lower, and now we're back up. Look at us holding the 20 EMA plus a volume shelf, right? See how we're on this volume shelf sticking out? Plus the 20 EMA, plus reversal candle, plus, let's really look up close here. Let's see, am I pointing the right way? Yeah, there we go. Everything's opposite. That's pointless to do that. This body is outside of that body. This wick is higher than that wick on the 20 EMA on the volume shelf. I like that. Keep in mind, I am worried about the geopolitical front, and that could crash all of my views. body lower, body lower, body lower, body higher, right? Wick lower, or wick lower, wick lower, wick higher. 20 EMA, volume shelf, easy, bull. Wasn't there another one? Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'll post it in the chat or on my X. Weekly CELH. Who remembers when I was selling the P's at 20 over in here and I was getting scared? Cheap bounce. That's over in February. That thing held up well through the April crash. What is happening? How did that happen? I guess it pulled back a bit. Look at this. Take a look at this. Let's zoom in. I like it. I really like it. Now this one did come from at Copyright Trend Spider. I'm joking a little bit, but they're the ones that posted this. This looks hot above the 20 EMA. Where was I? Where was I on August 4th? 41. That must have been earnings, and we're coming back after this pop. I am really bullish on this. I may sell some CSPs. It's got a big volume gap to 36. I think that somewhat of a low volume area, I should say. I can sell some CSPs maybe at the 35 strike for the end of the year. We're currently at 54, so maybe for December. We'll see how that plays out. Possibly pick up calls, possibly pick up equity. There was something else. TLT, I think, is done going down. It filled the gap. Filled the gap. There will be a catalyst for more rate cuts coming up on this. I am worried about the bond market right now because yields are going up while we're cutting interest rates. It's like, what's going on there? But my number one pick, because I love these cheap stocks. And if you look at that, it's almost like we have, this is going to be kind of risky for me to try to chart this. Okay. Kind of. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys can see it. It's very sloppy. I did that very sloppy. I don't need the text label here. We'll remove this. Very, very sloppy. That doesn't really count. I shouldn't have done this. I should have done this at the beginning of my video instead of doing it at the end and kind of looking foolish. If we have the linear chart on, you can see it a bit better. This should have been in a little bit tighter. But I am watching this. The 18 mark is my first PT, like I said in the beginning of the video. I'm just all over bull. I'm all over bull. The options are priced at a very, very, very decent price. Look at the hammer right there. You can't really use the EMAs too much because more so than the 20 because it hasn't been out that long. You could use the 50. We'll see what happens. In fact, before I end this video, let me go ahead and put it up. Look at that. Has it been out 100 days? April. Yeah, I suppose it has. But you see how they're all meeting right there? This just me, and they're all about to cross. Hold on a second. Before I end this video, let's see some more. All right, that's opened up. We can take our SI off. Let me see the squeeze. Oh my gosh. This right here. The fact that the buyers ate that up when it tried to dip, that it's breaking out of that wedge, that the MACD is opening up, that the squeeze is getting ready to, is firing, currently firing. This looks really good. This is my number one pick going into the end of the year. Again, I'm in for May, and I'm in for January 20s and May 25s. Am I going to be a noob and buy this Fridays? No. Why would I do that? For the same price I can get January's, and capture all that, some of the most historically bullish months of the year. October is usually a coin toss. So we'll see. Keep your eyes peeled on the geopolitical front. Market isn't reacting to it. I don't like what I'm seeing right now. Other than that, I'm just charting what I see. Last one, KO. And if my video cuts off here, forgive me. We have a gap to fill to around 64-ish. And if that happens, I may go ahead and pick some up. We'll see when that happens and when we're there. If you guys like this content, make sure to like and follow for more.